Rebuilding mental control in a world that thrives on distraction is not merely a matter of personal discipline, it is a deliberate and ongoing act of resistance. The modern technological landscape is designed to hijack attention and exploit cognitive vulnerabilities. To reclaim focus, the mind must be retrained, not just occasionally but systematically. The challenge is not just to reduce distractions, but to actively strengthen the neural circuits responsible for attention, patience, and cognitive resilience. Like training a muscle, mental control requires practice, intention, and a shift in how we relate to time, effort, and stimulation. The first step toward regaining control is recognizing the damage. When the brain has been conditioned by years of digital noise, it becomes uncomfortable with stillness. Moments of silence can feel like something is missing. The absence of stimulation can trigger anxiety or restlessness. This is not a moral failing, it is neuroplasticity in action. The brain adapts to the environment it is exposed to most often. If it has been trained to expect novelty every few seconds, then any sustained task like reading a book or sitting in a meeting will feel unnatural or even painful. But the very plasticity that led to this problem can also lead to the solution. Just as the brain was wired for distraction, it can be rewired for focus. The process begins with digital awareness. Creating boundaries around how and when technology is used is a critical part of the healing process. Simple actions like disabling unnecessary notifications, keeping the phone out of reach during deep work, and scheduling specific times for email and social media can dramatically reduce the number of interruptions the brain must process throughout the day. Digital fasting is another powerful tool. This doesn't mean abandoning technology altogether, but rather setting aside regular periods when all screens are put away, whether it's for an hour each morning, a full day each week, or a full weekend each month. During these times, the brain is allowed to rest, recalibrate, and engage with the world more fully. Even short tech-free windows can produce a noticeable difference in attention span, mood, and mental clarity. Equally important is learning to tolerate boredom. In today's culture, boredom is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. But boredom is not the enemy. It's a gateway. It's in moments of boredom that the brain starts to wander, to reflect, to create. It's when original ideas surface, when insights form, and when memories are consolidated. Learning to sit quietly without reaching for a device is a powerful act of self-training. It teaches the mind that it doesn't need constant stimulation to feel okay. It breaks the dependency on digital input and strengthens inner awareness. Another effective way to rebuild mental control is through single tasking. This is the practice of doing one thing at a time with full attention. Whether it's writing, eating, walking, or listening, bringing complete presence to the task at hand teaches the brain to resist the urge to fragment attention. It reconditions the mind to find satisfaction in depth rather than speed. This practice may feel slow or uncomfortable at first, but over time it restores the brain's capacity for immersion and flow. Mindfulness and meditation are also valuable tools in this process. Regular mindfulness practice helps develop meta-awareness, the ability to notice where attention is going and gently bring it back to the intended focus. This strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and sustained attention. It also reduces the influence of the limbic system, which drives impulsive behaviors and emotional reactivity. With consistent practice, the brain becomes less reactive to distractions and more capable of staying grounded in the present. Sleep, nutrition, and physical exercise also play a crucial role in cognitive recovery. Poor sleep impairs attention, weakens memory, and increases susceptibility to distraction. A diet high in sugar and processed foods can create energy crashes and brain fog. Regular movement, especially aerobic exercise, increases blood flow to the brain and enhances neuroplasticity. These lifestyle factors are often overlooked in discussions of attention, yet they are foundational. The brain cannot function at its best in a body that is exhausted, inflamed, or malnourished. Another strategy to rebuild attention is to re-engage with analog activities, things that don't involve screens but require patience and presence. Reading printed books, writing by hand, gardening, playing a musical instrument, or even solving puzzles are examples. These activities not only reduce screen time but also cultivate the mental endurance needed for deep focus. They remind the brain what it feels like to be absorbed in something without digital interference. Setting clear goals and intentions also helps anchor the mind. When the brain knows what it is working toward, it is more likely to resist distractions. Writing down goals each morning, reviewing progress in the evening, and breaking large tasks into smaller steps create a sense of structure. This structure supports focus and minimizes the tendency to drift into aimless browsing or multitasking. Finally, it's important to cultivate self-compassion in the process of rebuilding attention. The journey is not linear. There will be setbacks. There will be days when focus is elusive and the temptation to scroll wins. But every time you notice the distraction and return to your task, you are strengthening mental control. Every small act of awareness, every moment of intentional focus adds up over time. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. Reclaiming your attention is one of the most empowering things you can do in today's world. It puts you back in control of your time, your energy, and your life. It allows you to engage more deeply with the people and projects that matter. It reconnects you with a sense of purpose and clarity that constant distraction can never offer. In a world that profits from your inattention, choosing to train your mind is a revolutionary act. And in that quiet, deliberate effort, you don't just rebuild focus, you rebuild yourself.